Okay, we are officially recording our reading lesson, so I'm going to go ahead and share our screen. Okay, so we're going to click on It's Learning. This is what It's Learning looks like today for Monday, November 16th. We are currently in our morning meeting / reading lesson. These are the things you're going to be working on today. Today we have a spelling rainbow write. When it is time for you to do that, you're going to click on that. And you have two different options that you can do. You can either type it out in different colors and send it to me, or you can do it on paper and write it out in different colors. And then how you would submit that is, well, first let me pull up the list so you can look. This is our list. You can click on this picture and zoom in. If need be, we have Thanksgiving, November, harvest, Indians, pilgrims, Mayflower, voyage, feast, Plymouth, holiday, tradition, national, celebration, Wampanoag, turkey, thankful, plentiful, blessing, grateful, and relatives. So we have a Thanksgiving themed spelling list this week. Make sure you are muted, please. When you go to submit this, how this would look is there's an option for you. Here, let me go to student view. Someone needs to mute their microphone, please. Bella, mute your microphone, please. Thank you. Okay. So let me go back to It's Learning. It's under student view, so I'm going to go to resources and course homepage so then I can show you what it looks like for you when you turn it in. You would go to spelling rainbow write, and you would hit answer assignment, and you can do two things. You can either add or drop a file of your Google Doc of you type, or you can choose here. If you click more options, there is a camera button right here that you would click video recorder. You would hit allow, and then you can switch it around and take a picture of yourself holding the paper, and then you would hit record a quick video of it. Mine is switched around because it's doing my camera right now. I would hit then stop and then submit. So that you can either take a picture of it and send it to me through this, or you can drop a file from your Google Drive. Okay, so let me go back to course homepage. You have two things that we're about to talk about. You have hyperboles and alliterations. That is related to poetry. So we're about to get started on a poetry unit together here in a moment. And then you have leaves, which is another quick read. And then you have a question to answer. It's very similar to the ones we did last week and also the week before. Okay, where we did, what am I trying to say? Where we did, with the Halloween themed things. This needs to be in yes ma'am format, okay? So let's get started. We're first going to get started with me on my camera. We're going to have my dot cam open right here, and we're going to look at some different poetry terms and things like that. So I have some vocab words for us to look at, and then we will look at some poetry, and then we'll watch a video, okay? So let me make sure everything's good to go here. So we are talking about poetry, which is the art of writing a poem. A poem is a piece of literature that has a rhythm, often rhymes or repeats, expresses a feeling or idea. So poems are written in ways that we don't always necessarily write normally. It's supposed to be artsy, okay? So our next term, we have verse. That's a line in a poem, similar to a sentence in a paragraph. We have stanza, several verses grouped together in a poem, similar to a paragraph in a story. We have rhythm. That is a beat, tempo, or pattern as in music. So this may be like A, A-B-A, A-B-C, A-B-C-A. This is the pattern for how it will rhyme. Which we will look at right here. Rhyme. When two or more words have the same ending sound. So chime, rhyme, time, and you'll be practicing a rhyming activity tomorrow. Repetition. Using the same word or phrase or sentence multiple times. That's what a lot of poets do when they write their poetry. We discussed metaphor last week. A metaphor, a direct comparison of two objects, people, or things, often uses is, was, are, or were. The example, he is a shining star. Sorry, they're laminated, so there's a little bit of a glare. Now, we're getting into figurative language here. These are definitions for that. We did a lot of figurative language you'll see in poetry. So that's why we're doing these two things together. You already know what a metaphor is, and you know what a simile is. This week, we're going to go deeper in some other things as well. So simile, comparison of two objects, people, or things using the words like or as. The example, she shines like the sun. So this is, our next two are the ones that we are going to, the next few are the ones that we're going to be talking about this week. Okay, so today we're talking about alliteration. It's the repetition of the first sound or sounds in a group of words. So the example, Sally sells seashells down by the seashore. The S sound is repeated multiple times in this verse of a poem. And so that is an alliteration. So you're going to be looking for those today. We have a hyperbole. This is the other one we're looking at today. It says an over-exaggeration. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. You may be super hungry, but you don't normally eat a horse. This is supposed to let me know how hungry you really are. So you're going to be looking at over-exaggerations today. Sometime this week, you're going to be working on onomatopoeias, which are words that imitate sounds, also called sound words. So, example, crunch, pop, bang. These are words that imitate sounds. We're going to be talking about idioms tomorrow, an old saying that does not mean what it says, such as cat got your tongue. A cat doesn't really have your tongue. That means, are you able to tell me what you're thinking, or are you blocked a little bit with your thinking? And then we also have personification, giving human characteristic abilities to non-human objects or things. Example, the rain pounded on the window. Rain can't actually pound, but humans can. So this is giving rain a human-like quality, okay? So those are some things we're going to be looking at this week as we go through. So what we're going to do next is we're going to pull up our hyperbole video first, okay? So we're going to watch our hyperbole video, and then we're going to move on to our alliterations video, and then we'll look at a poem, and then I will let you get started on things, okay?
Hyperbole is a literary device that uses exaggeration to make a point. Here is an example. The Dodgers pitcher must have been throwing 800 miles per hour yesterday because we just couldn't hit him. This statement is hyperbole because nobody can throw a baseball 800 miles per hour. It is clearly an exaggeration. However, this hyperbolic statement or exaggeration does make the point that the Dodgers pitcher was throwing the ball hard. Your mission is to listen to the dialogue and identify the hyperboles or exaggerations that you hear. Dude, yesterday I played the best video game in the history of the world. What game? What? What game is that? Dude, no game in the universe can rival it. Okay, I get it, alright? What game? Dude, the whole world is playing this game. It's so lit. For the millionth time, what game are you talking about? I'm talking about Among Us. You like that stupid game? Dude, cry me a river. You love Fortnite. Now that game is ancient history. Why on earth are you not playing Among Us? I'm drowning in homework, man. And I have a ton of chores to do every day. You are full of crap. You are not drowning in homework. We take the same classes. We have one paper due, that's it. The paper is taking me forever, man. The teacher wants like a bazillion pages. Dude, You are making a mountain out of a molehill. Just relax, play some Among Us, and do your paper later. You are the worst friend in the world, you know that? I haven't slept in months. I'm so stressed, and you want me to play a video game? Exactly. You need to relax. Dude, I'm gonna beat the living daylights out of you if you tell me to relax one more time. Ha! You will beat me up when hell freezes over. Dude, you see how tense you are? Now you want to fight me? Yeah, I guess you're right. I need to chill out. How about we go get some grub? Dude, best idea you've ever come up with. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Let's get, how about tacos? Great idea, man.
Okay, so I picked that video because there was a lot of things that you maybe recognized in that video. If you notice when they were talking like friends, you probably noticed that they were using a lot of exaggerations during that time. Those are examples of hyperboles, okay? So our next one we're going to talk about is alliteration. This one may not be as familiar as Among Us and Fortnite and things like that.
Whispering winds weave the water as we wait for the wall-like wahoo to whack the wriggling, wandering wobbler. Wise words wasted as we wait. Wham! Without warning, war begins. Winding with willpower we wrestle, whooshing through the water, writhing, wriggling, waltzing, wrecking. Wearily winching, wilting and woozy we wage. With wisdom he wins.
Alliteration is the repetition of the same letter or sound at the beginning of words. It's used to create rhythm, mood, and tone within a poem. This poem is whooshing with alliteration. Almost every word begins with a w, and the repetition of w sounds create a rolling rhythm that conveys the wild, watery world of the wise wahoo fish. So why do we use alliteration? Alliteration is enjoyable to read and hear. It helps to create and communicate the mood of a poem. What kind of mood could the repetition of a s sound create? It could suggest the slippery and slithery movements of a snake. Now it's your turn to create alliteration. Choose an object or an animal. What sound does it start with? Make a list of words that start with the same sound. Which words could be used to describe your object?
Okay, so what was really nice about that video was we got to see
Grammarly does more.
Okay, we got to see repetition as we go through of the sounds. They gave us an example with the W sound. So today, when you are working on those things, you're going to be able to identify those things as well. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some poems together that are examples of alliteration and hyperbole. We're going to start with alliteration since we just talked about that one. This is with repetition of sound. So I'm going to read this through and then we're going to decide what sound we hear the most, okay? Clever kid. I can't catch a crocodile. I can't climb a cliff. I can't cook a cake or drive a car. But there are a lot of things a clever kid like me can do. I can color with crowns. I can catch a cat. I can come and cuddle you if you cry. Because there are a lot of things a clever kid like me can do. So what sound did we hear over and over again? Raise your hand. Well, Jaylee Smiley already commented. So Jaylee Smiley, what sound did we see over and over again in this poem? The K or the C sound, right? Now C makes two sound. We got the K and the S sound, but we were hearing the K sound, so we could have used K or the C to show us that. We are going to be looking at poems this week, and you may notice that as something that is done to describe things. Okay? Our next one we're going to look at is hyperboles. This one's labeled Hyperbole Cafe. This is an exaggeration. It says, "Welcome to our restaurant where everything's gigantic." An exaggeration. Everything's gigantic. 100 waiters hold one dish. That's also an exaggeration. Not 100 waiters hold one dish normally. Our kitchen can get frantic. Our soup is deeper than the sea. That's an exaggeration. Our noodles stretch a mile. That's also an exaggeration because those things aren't exactly true. It's trying to get you to understand that they're trying to be as extravagant as possible. The bread is longer than a train. It's sure to make you smile. We pile our peas up mountain high. One cookie hides the moon. That means a ginormous cookie. We poured our iced tea into boats. We hope you'll visit soon. So if we notice, there are a lot of exaggerations here as well. So these two things that you're working on today, alliterations and hyperbole, should be pretty simple for you. So I'm going to go to It's Learning. I'm going to show you what hyperboles looks like today. You're going to have your name, and then you're deciding if it's a hyperbole or not a hyperbole. So you're going to read the sentence. I ate a whole plate of food on my own, and you're going to decide if that's a hyperbole or not, okay? So you have, you have 10 of those multiple choice deciding if it's a hyperbole or not. And then you're going to write 2 of your own hyperboles or exaggerations, okay? That's what you're doing. And I also left a definition for you of what a hyperbole is. Then you're going to work on alliterations. The first part, write down any alliteration you find in the sentence. Remember, that is the same sound repeated. So you have a couple of those, and then you have a section where it says follow directions to write an alliterative sentence. So in part 2, right here, it says follow the directions to write an alliterative sentence. Use the TR sound. So you're going to create a sentence using that TR sound, that tr sound. It needs to repeat at least more than once, or it is not an alliteration. It has to repeat, or it won't be alliteration. You have one that does the sh sound. And then this one is the n sound, like the N. You can also use challenge KN, like no, like I know something sounds like the N sound, but it's spelled KN. And then you have one more, it's the K sound, and it wants you to use either the C, the K, or the CH sound to make your repetition, okay? So you're going to be doing that. You have your leaves, yes ma'am, and then you have epic when you are finished, okay? Now, I'm going to stop screen sharing. Let's check. If anyone has any questions, please comment in the chat so I can call on you, okay? Eric, what's your question?
It kicked me off the meet, and I was trying to get back on, but it kept, kicking me back off.
So you missed part of the lesson? Here, in the next 5 minutes, the video will be uploaded, and you can go through and go back to the parts that you missed and watch it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Carter, you have a question? Go ahead, bud. Carter? I notice you're unmuted, but you're glitchy. Like, it's like taking some time to load. So we have no clue what you're saying and things. There we go. Try now. Yeah, we can't hear you.
My computer won't.
Okay, I hear you now.
What?
What was your question? Now I can't hear you.
What?
You may have to type it in the chat. Buddy.
What is
Yeah, you'll have to type it in the chat. We don't know what you're saying. Does anyone else have...
What specials are we having?
Okay. Gym later
What
at 2
specials are
o'clock.
we having?
Gym, PE at 2 o'clock. Okay? Any other questions for me? If you have no other questions, you can go ahead and get off. You are working on those things. When you finish those things, you have free time till 10:30, okay? At 10:30 is our math lesson, okay? Bye.
Bye.
Have fun. Thank you, Carter Townsend, for letting me know.
Bye, everybody. This is Cox.